you were to drop like a stone into the ocean, past the warm sunlight, past the coral reefs and colorful fish, there comes a moment silent, sudden, when the light vanishes. It's not a fade out, it's a cliff. 1 second, you're swimming in blues and silvers. The next, you're in pitch black. And in that dark, something ancient is watching. The creatures down here don't look like fish. They look like secrets evolution tried to bury. Their teeth are too long, their jaws unhinged like nightmares. Their skin drinks light, and every one of them seems designed not to charm or survive, but to disturb. Why? Why has the ocean hidden its most disturbing designs at the bottom? Why do these animals seem less like life and more like mistakes? The truth is, they're not mistakes at all. Down here, beauty is a liability, and weird wins. What we call monsters, the abyss calls survivors. Because in the deepest places on Earth, where pressure crushes steel and light can't reach, life had to make a choice: evolve into something unrecognizable or vanish forever. And what it chose is far stranger than anything we ever imagined. Up near the surface, nature dresses in spectacle. A coral reef is a parade of color, form, and grace. The clownfish, orange and white, and impossibly adorable, isn't just cute for fun. Its bright skin is a warning. I live among stinging anemones, touch me, and you'll regret it. In these shallows, evolution rewards visibility, but sink deeper, and that law reverses. Down where the light dims, color is no longer a defense. It's a death sentence. Here, camouflage isn't about blending in, it's about vanishing entirely. The vibrant are eaten first. So, in the deep, beauty fades. The fish become silhouettes, then shadows, then shapes that shouldn't exist. What thrives here isn't elegance, it's discomfort. The rule shifts from survival of the cutest to survival of the creepiest. Because where light dies, fear becomes the currency of survival. And the more alien you are, the longer you live. Nature didn't forget how to make beautiful things down here. It just stopped needing to. Imagine walking barefoot along a beach, toes sinking into warm sand when suddenly the sand bites back. That's the stargazer. A fish so unsettling it feels like it was designed by a horror director, not evolution. It buries itself completely beneath the seafloor, eyes bulging just above the surface, mouth agape, waiting. It's not swimming, not stalking, just watching and waiting to strike. Its face looks like a mistake, flattened and staring straight up, frozen in a grimace. And that's exactly the point. The stargazer doesn't chase prey, it ambushes it. One wrong step, and it explodes from the earth like a biological landmine, swallowing anything unlucky enough to pass overhead. It doesn't need to move. It is the battlefield. In the dim light at the bottom of the epipelagic zone, the stargazer proves a terrifying truth of the deep. Down here, stillness is not safety. It's strategy. And sometimes, the most dangerous thing in the ocean doesn't swim at all. Descend into the twilight zone, and you'll feel it, the light thinning, the colors bleeding out, the silence deepening. Down here, nothing shines, nothing sparkles, and nothing sees like it used to. Enter the hatchetfish, a name as sharp as the silhouette it casts. Slender, metallic, and ghost-like. This creature's body is designed not to be noticed, but its eyes, those are unforgettable. Permanently locked upward, as if trapped in eternal dread. They don't see forward or sideways, only up. Why? Because in this ghost-lit world, the only danger comes from above, and anything that casts even the faintest shadow against the dying light becomes a target. The hatchetfish doesn't need to look around, it only needs to survive what's falling from the sky. Its silvery skin reflects light like liquid metal, and its underside glows softly to erase its own shadow. It is, quite literally, trying to disappear. In doing so, it's become something eerie, a fish that gave up looking forward just to stay alive. Now meet the viperfish, a creature that looks like it escaped from a fever dream. Its jaws are oversized, its teeth needle-sharp and curved backward like skeletal hooks. But what truly unnerves isn't its bite, it's the attitude. Viperfish are only about a foot long, but they attack like they're apex predators. Reckless, fast, and fearless, they strike anything that even resembles food. And when they do, they strike hard. But for all their aggression, they lack scales. Instead, they're wrapped in a strange gel-like membrane. Not slimy, but smooth, like silicone armor. It isn't just weird, it's genius. This mucus coating reduces drag in water and renders them nearly invisible by scattering light. It's part stealth tech, part bodysuit. Viperfish aren't just survivors, they're deep-sea assassins wrapped in shadows. They don't have the strength to dominate, so they rely on speed, surprise, and a body designed for vanishing. In the eternal night of the deep ocean, the predator you never see is the one you never escape. Just when you think the deep can't get any darker, something glides past you and you don't see it. Not because you blinked, but because light itself failed. This is the Pacific black dragon, a creature so deeply evolved for stealth that its skin absorbs 99.95% of all light. That's darker than the paint used on stealth jets. Its body doesn't reflect light, it devours it. Even bioluminescent beams from other creatures vanish against its skin like ink on obsidian. This isn't camouflage, it's erasure. And the secret lies in its microscopic architecture. Layers of tightly packed melanosomes, pigment-filled organelles, arranged to scatter and trap every photon. Nothing escapes, no glow, no glare. It's the closest thing to an organic black hole in the ocean. Why go this far? Because in a world where one glint means death, invisibility isn't an advantage, it's a requirement. The Pacific black dragon isn't just hiding from predators, it's hunting without being real. And in the deep sea, that makes it practically invincible. Deeper still, past the last threads of natural light, you enter the midnight zone, a place so dark, so absolute, it rewrites the laws of survival. And here, one creature reigns as the icon of deep-sea horror, the anglerfish. With a bulb dangling from its forehead like a haunted lantern, it drifts through pitch black, a moving illusion. That eerie glow isn't just decoration, it's a trap. Bioluminescent bacteria living inside the esca produce the light, luring curious prey into a mouth lined with translucent, needle-like teeth. One wrong move, and the light that guided you becomes the last thing you ever see. But for all its menace, the anglerfish is no sea monster. Most are barely a foot long. Their bite wouldn't even pierce human skin. Their terror isn't in their threat, it's in their design. They are nature's paradox. A creature that looks like it should be myth, but is entirely real. In this lightless void, they are proof that fear doesn't need size, it only needs surprise. Now drift further, where even the anglerfish seems tame, and you'll meet a predator that redefines what a mouth can be. The stoplight loosejaw, named not by poets but by stunned scientists, is a creature with a jaw so loosely attached, it's practically disconnected. Its lower mandible hangs on by a thread-thin hinge, allowing it to snap open like a steel trap, wider and faster than almost any fish alive. But it doesn't stop there. Its eyes emit red and green, bioluminescent beams, the deep-sea equivalent of infrared goggles. Here's the twist. Almost no other fish in the deep can see red light. So while the loosejaw scans its surroundings, its prey sees nothing, not the light, not the jaw, not death. The red beam is for stalking. The green, we still don't fully understand. Navigation? Mating? Evolutionary leftover? Or maybe it's just the ocean's most twisted Christmas ornament. Either way, the loosejaw doesn't ask questions. It waits in silence, then it strikes, mouth unhinged, vision private, and speed unmatched. Then comes the black swallower, a fish with an appetite so disturbing, it seems to parody the idea of hunger itself. At first glance, it's unremarkable, small, unthreatening, but don't be fooled. This creature can consume prey more than twice its length and up to 10 times its own body weight. Its stomach stretches grotesquely, distending into a swollen sack that makes the swallower look comically bloated until you realize what that belly holds. Whole fish, intact spines, eyes that never had time to react. It's not digestion, it's storage. A meal this size means survival for weeks, but it comes at a cost. That massive payload makes the black swallower buoyant. Too buoyant. Many have been found floating toward the surface, dead victims of their own success. Evolution gave them a strategy: eat big, eat rarely. But it didn't offer a solution for the aftermath. Sometimes down here, the prize is too heavy, and the victory is fatal. As you fall past the midnight zone, gravity feels less like a force and more like a sentence. This is the abyssal zone, the true deep. Here, pressure crushes steel, temperature hovers near freezing, and life itself teeters on the edge of impossibility. And yet, it exists. But what you find here no longer resembles life as we know it. It's as if evolution, desperate and blindfolded, started throwing ideas at the wall to see what stuck. Here, function overrides form completely. Eyes vanish. Teeth grow in directions that defy anatomy. Lures move from forehead to mouth. Jaws invert. Bodies distort. Down here, beauty is extinct. What remains are creatures engineered by starvation, pressure, and patience. A slow-motion horror show built for a world where time itself seems frozen. In the abyss, there are no fast chases, no colorful displays, no social groups, just stillness, hunger, and forms that make no sense until you remember where they live. From this darkness emerges a creature so strange, it seems like satire the wonderfish, a deep-sea angler that doesn't dangle its bait outside its mouth, but inside it. Unlike its cousins, whose glowing lures swing from their foreheads like fishing poles, the wonderfish has moved its bioluminescent trap inward. Picture it, a glowing orb buried behind a wall of teeth. Prey aren't just drawn near, they're drawn into. Its grotesque efficiency. One swim too close, and the fish disappears into a mouth that's already open, already lit. No need for a snap, a strike, or a second chance. The strategy is brutally simple. Be the bait, be the mouth, be the end. But why evolve this way? In the abyss, light is so scarce that even the tiniest glow risks exposure. So the wonderfish hides its glow in the darkest chamber it has its throat. It's not elegance, it's not grace. It's function, sharpened into fear. And it's proof that in the ocean's final levels, even how you hunt becomes a liability. At the bottom of the abyss, where movement means wasting precious energy, one fish decided to stop moving altogether. Meet the tripod fish, the only fish on Earth that stands. Not floats, not swims. Stands, balancing on three long, bony fin rays, two from its pelvis and one from its tail. It perches above the ocean floor like a creature frozen mid-thought. These spindly extensions stretch up to 3 feet long, supporting a body barely 1/3 that size. It doesn't walk, it doesn't chase, it simply waits. Why? Because down here, motion is expensive and prey is rare. A slow current drifts through the abyss, carrying microscopic life like a deep-sea conveyor belt. The tripod fish holds its position for hours, sometimes days, its sensitive pectoral fins outstretched like antennae, detecting even the faintest touch. When something edible brushes past a worm, a bit of plankton, it leans forward and strikes. In a world where survival is measured in stillness, the tripod fish turned its own body into a hunting platform. But stillness comes with a price: isolation. The tripod fish doesn't just hunt alone, it exists alone. Down here, encounters with another of its kind are so rare. Evolution made a brutal decision: don't rely on others. So, the tripod fish became both male and female, a hermaphrodite. It can reproduce with a partner, if one ever appears. But it usually doesn't. So it self-fertilizes, releasing eggs that float upward, out of the abyss, into safer, shallower waters. There, new life begins, and when those young return, drawn by gravity and instinct, they descend into a world where silence is law and company is myth. They take their place alone again, balancing on their skeletal stilts like statues forgotten by time. No schools, no families, no migration, just eternal vigilance in a kingdom of emptiness. If loneliness were a shape, it would look like a tripod fish. And if it had a voice, it would never use it because down here, no one would hear it anyway. But even deeper than the abyss lies a trench, a wound carved into the Earth's crust, where life shouldn't exist at all. This is the Hadal Zone, the final frontier of the ocean, where pressure exceeds 16,000 pounds per square inch, and the seafloor stretches into black infinity. And here lives a creature so soft, so fragile it seems impossible. The snailfish, no scales, no armor, barely any bones. It looks more like a translucent ghost than a living animal. And that's the secret to its survival. Anything more solid would be crushed by the weight of the ocean itself. The snailfish has no swim bladder, because gas at this depth is lethal. Its eyes, reduced to faint patches of pigment beneath the skin. It doesn't chase. It doesn't fight. It simply exists. Evolution stripped it of everything not essential, leaving behind only what was needed to endure. It's not a predator. It's not prey. It is resilience in its rawest form, proof that survival isn't always about strength. Sometimes, it's about surrender. At the very bottom of the world, where sunlight will never reach and pressure would flatten a submarine, the story of life ends not with a roar, but with a whisper. The snailfish drifts slowly through the huddled trenches, silent, soft, alone. It doesn't shine, doesn't stalk, doesn't fear. It simply is. In this realm, where time seems frozen and death is always near, life has been reduced to its barest shape. No elegance, no spectacle, just endurance. The deep sea doesn't celebrate survival. It requires it. Every creature we've seen, from glowing jaws to inverted mouths, from walking stilts to vacuum bellies, tells one truth. When the world turns dark, strange, and hostile, life finds a way anyway. But the way it chooses may terrify us. Because down here, evolution isn't kind. It's cold, it's brilliant, and it never stops pushing. The monsters of the abyss weren't made to frighten us. They were made to win in the loneliest, darkest, most unforgiving place on Earth.